More of your go-to for all things home. This is Home Answers Radio, presented by JeffBuysYourHouse.com, Access, Level 10 Coatings, Steiner Homes, Center Guard Plumbing, and by American Beam and Steel. Once again, here's Roger Piper.
Your go-to for all things home. It's Home Answers Radio.
Hi, welcome to Home Answers. I'm Roger Piper. This show is all about your house. We talk about anything to do with your house. And today we're going to talk about that big thing on top that keeps all of the rain and snow from coming in. It's roofs. And we got a great expert with us today, Tony Reyes with Walton Contractors. Tony, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And Tony, when you're deciding that you need a roof, okay, maybe you definitely know, maybe you think maybe I might need one, especially with storm damage and those kinds of things. And let's say you don't have a contractor. You don't have somebody that you've used before or you trust. So if you're making those phone calls and interviewing people, give us some hints on the questions that you should be asking to pick out the best roofing contractor.
That's a good question. I think that the first place to start is probably Google, like most people would go. Finding a company that's Google guaranteed might be great. There's many certifications or verifications that Google has to make to ensure that that's a local certified contractor in your area. I would also follow the reviews. At the end of the day, the reviews tell the story. It's not like the old days with the Better Business Bureau or the BBB. You actually have to pay to be on the BBB. So if you don't pay to be on the BBB, there is no rating for you, right? So it's not really black and white like Google reviews are. You're going to see someone's history, their experiences, whether it was good, bad, and different. And, it kind of tells you a story. So like our company, we have like 225 five-star reviews, right? That's kind of hard to fake at that point. But I would say finding a local contractor that's Google certified, that's licensed, typically that goes with the territory being verified through Google, is probably a good place to start.
Okay. And that's really good information that with the BBB isn't necessarily good information anymore.
It's not as relevant as it used to be. And especially if you have to pay to play, right? So
right.
If I don't pay, which we don't, we stopped using them a number of years ago, then the way that we show up is not rated, which is not really fair. It's not really a fair assessment. So times have changed. There's much more transparency with Yelp, with Google, with different review sites where you're really hearing from the consumer and it's not being filtered through an organization that's trying to monetize it.
Yeah. So those are some tips if you need to find somebody to do, roofing, gutters, the whole thing. Tell us what are the reasons that you really need to be careful after, and most of the time when you need a roof done or something, it's after storms. I mean, that's a big part of it, right?
Absolutely.
And when that happens, you're getting barraged. You get the people that go door to door. I know they send crews out from other parts of the country and things like that. So tell us why you have to be kind of a little bit skeptical when it comes to somebody that's coming to your door. You have to ask them, right? Are you local? And ask all the same questions you would do if you're interviewing them.
Absolutely, because you don't want to hire what we call a chuck in the truck, right? Someone who's just here from...
chuck in a truck. Now, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that.
But you're right. Like even right now, last month we had some major storms, especially like in Bradley and Kankakee area.
Right.
We had some massive 4-inch hail, and a lot of that affected even the Plainfield, Aurora, Naperville area where you and I are from. But there's teams that are here from Minnesota, from Iowa, from Ohio. They're literally just coming here, door knocking. I mean, and rightfully so. That's their trade, right?
Right.
They're trying to get business. But the problem is that if there's an issue, and there's always issues. I mean, nothing's ever perfect. We do hundreds of roofs a year. I wish we were batting 1,000, but we don't. Sometimes there's issues where we have to go back and reseal flashing or fix some kind of mechanical penetration that maybe wasn't didn't come up during the quality control inspection at the end. But it's going to be very hard for you to get someone who's out of state to come back to fix a chimney flashing, a $20 repair if they only came here to take advantage of a storm.
Yeah, and a big part of that is you want a warranty on your roof, right?
Absolutely.
And you're not going to get a warranty from those people. If you do, I mean, good luck trying to deal with it, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing. I think that whenever you're getting a roof installed, just because someone installs, they call it a out-of-box warranty, right? So we're an Owens Corning manufacturer certified contractor. Well, that's the Pink Panther. If you're going to go
Right.
walking down Home Depot, you see the Pink Panther. That's the same people who make that, and they're a local company. But unless you're installing it the way the manufacturer tells you it needs to be installed, which is using certain kinds of underlayments, then there is no warranty.
Right.
So it's very possible that you're hiring someone, if you're getting some kind of bargain basement deal roofer coming in, and they're installing the same product as I am, but they're not following the manufacturer specifications. If the manufacturer were to come out, if that homeowner made a claim, there would be no warranty because they'd say, "Hey, no, this person wasn't a certified a certified contractor with us. We didn't certify him, and they didn't use the proper underlayments, even though they used that product."
Right.
So,
And, yeah, I was going to bring that up because that affects a lot of people. Installation really is the key. And then I know if you don't do it according to the specifications, that warranty is worthless. So if somebody tells you I got a 30-year, 40-year warranty and you don't get that certification, then you don't have a warranty at all, do you?
that's correct. Yeah.
And that's really important to think about. It's Tony Reyes, and he's with Walton Contractors. You can call them at 708-303-8055. That's 708-303-8055. You'll do a free inspection and
Absolutely.
consultation with them, right? And if you want to check them out on the website, and I always recommend that you do, it's walton-contractors.com. Walton-contractors.com. Now, tell us a little bit about your company. I know that you're big with veterans and the military, and also Christian values.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us how that separates you out from any other company.
Man, that's a good question. I served in the Marine Corps for 8 years.
But thanks for your service. We love veterans.
Yes. So it feels like it was many moons ago, but that's where that comes from. We're veteran, we're local. And to your point, I grew up in a Christian home. My dad was an assistant pastor. And he always kind of like put in us the idea of giving back, of sowing back. You have to sow to reap, right? And even if you don't reap, you still have to sow to be a blessing. You're blessed to be a blessing. So some of the things that separate us and our company that we've kind of like, every dollar that comes to our company, we earmark for 4 different categories. We donate to Samaritan's Purse, where they're digging wells in Africa. We support a local food pantry, Fishes and Loaves, which is out in Aurora, Naperville area, and we support a couple of orphanages. And for every roof that we install, we actually we plant 10 trees to fight deforestation across the world. So those are organizations that we support because we feel like we are the hands and the feet, and everything that comes through has to go into one of those funds.
Yep.
At every single point. So I think that besides being local, besides being veteran-owned, besides being a Christian company, and we really do feel that we are being that impact that the world needs to do the things that really moves the Lord's heart, which is, like I said, taking care of the earth, taking care of people locally, taking care of orphans globally, and doing whatever we can. So like thinking globally, but impacting locally as well.
When you're looking at hiring a company, you can't go wrong with somebody that is Christian-based or is big with veterans. I mean, you just know right there what kind of person and what kind of company that you're dealing with. And I saw on your website you offer some discounts for people, $500 off for 65 plus for seniors. That's always nice. And all veterans and military, $500 off as well. So
That's right.
Again, thank you for your service, and thank you for helping the community. You don't have to do that. You don't. So that is a choice. And also you do financing, right? Your financing is available if
That's
somebody
correct.
needs it?
That's correct. We do offer those discounts. So if you're a senior and a veteran, then you get a double whammy there, double the discount. But
Oh, so you can double those up.
that's correct.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Okay. And tell us a little bit, briefly, what's going on in the industry? What's new and cool and different when it comes to roofing?
There's a lot of things that are roofing is really. There's a lot of things that are influenced with roofing in regards to insurance. The 2 biggest claims that people can make on their homeowner's insurance policy is a flood, if you have flood insurance,
right,
and or roofing. So what the insurance industry is moving towards, it's really interesting. They're moving to raising deductibles on specifically roofing. So they'll have an amendment on the policy that says, hey, you have a $1,000 deductible, but if it's hail or wind, it's actually a $10,000 deductible. Because I think that insurance companies are getting with the program, like, wow, there's a lot of impact, especially where we're at, right? We're at the top of Tornado Valley. Actually, where we are, there was a tornado that fell in our backyard a couple years ago. I don't know if you remember that. The levels to
Yeah, well, and a fact that I found out, there were more wind claims in Illinois than any state in the entire country last year. Any. That includes Oklahoma, Texas, all those. There were more wind claims. So I think that that kind of damage and stuff. But boy, is that something you really need to check your policy, don't you?
Absolutely, and I think that's a subject of the jet stream, right? Because we're right across Canada with the Lake Michigan, right? And then you get all the warm air coming from the south. So we are in an interesting place. It's also Illinois is the insurance fraud capital of the United States. So there's a lot of, like, to your point, a lot of these fly-by-night contractors that are coming, door knocking, storm chasers we call them, are trying to make fraudulent claims sometimes. But and I think that's why the policy is very important, because they're changing the deductible specifically for wind and hail. Now, the way that benefits homeowners is that if you get a new roof, with the technologies that they have available now, 40-year roofing systems, we call it a Class 4 shingle. I know we're getting a little nerdy right now.
No, that's all right.
You're able to get a discount on your homeowner's insurance policy, because they now know that, wow, I don't have to worry about this roof. Your premium will go down with a brand new a Class 4 shingle.
That's good information to know. And we've been talking with Tony Reyes, and he's with Walton Contractors, and you do most of Chicagoland, right?
That's correct.
And give him a call if you want to talk about a roof. You'll come out and take a look. No harm, no foul. And also, you do help with insurance claims if people need that help as well. It's 708-303-8055, 708-303-8055, and you can check them out. I recommend that you do at walton-contractors.com. Tony, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's Home Answers on AM 560, The Answer.